Welcome, my friends. We have something special today. We have an expert on the line with us, Omega Dave himself, the man with a plan, showing us how the bowlers, witches, and the golems are rocking it today. He is a great attacker at Town Hall 9. Amazing stuff. Percentage out the wazoo. He also has a Town Hall 11 as well. So let's get into it and see how a Town Hall 9 executes, destroys, pillages a base. Okay, we are with Omega Dave, the man himself. Now, we are talking about the bowlers, witches, and golem strategy. Lots of names for it, but we'll keep it for the PG, I guess, for this version. So, when you're looking at this base, what are you looking at? What's the game plan for a witch strategy at Town Hall 9? Because I think it's new. Not a lot of players use it. So why do you think it's a powerful strategy?
Well, the first thing I'm going to look at is I can do my entrance right at the queen, and golems are going to be tanking for the queen and a bunch of splash damage there, and there's spots for giant bombs there. So the golems are going to be tanking for a lot right there, and it leaves a lot of just point defenses on the back end for witches to deal with. And they deal with point defenses very well. And they take back end hogs for the mortars back there.
What is your spell comp, and are you bringing 2 jump or just going to bring 1 jump, or what you got going?
I bring 2 jumps. I wall break right into the first compartment, and then the 2 jumps get you the whole way across the base. It works really well against these bases with the segmented pieces in the core, because it opens up everything with 2 jumps.
Okay, cool. Well,
2 rages to speed everything up.
Yeah. Now you're not bringing, you're bringing bowlers in the CC?
Yeah, I have bowlers and a poison in my CC.
Cool. Okay, well, let's get into it. Let's do a live attack here. And you can just walk us through what you're kind of doing and what might be going through your mind.
The huts because I'll free to do it if I do it later.
You can tell that obviously he's creating the funnel, guys. I've always talked about outside in, perfectly done.
I did fail my wall breakers though.
So are you gonna put a jump down?
Yep, I'll put the jump early.
So that's calling an audible, folks. He's thinking on his feet just to make sure all his troops are going inside. Wow, this base is looking pretty good. Even forgot the poison on the CC and still looking good.
I did.
Now the trouble sections. Now in this moment in the raid, what's going on through your mind? Are you freaking out? Are you keeping your calm? Like, what are you looking at?
Right now I'm thinking I failed because my queen's stuck on a wall. If I hadn't failed the wall breakers, I wouldn't be in that situation because I'd have 2 jumps on the back end there.
Yeah, I think that was right.
But I'm still calm because I have my queen ability.
Yeah, with her ability, the problem is that storage. Actually, the expo is going to destroy her.
Yeah, the expo is going to rip her apart.
Yeah, this is a good valiant try, but again, I guess it just goes to show, like, it's amazing wall breakers made this attack. Like, if he had the wall breaker success, this probably would have been a 3-star. So either plan for that, guys, or bring an extra wall breaker, or just make sure you think about that maybe before going in. Do you think that was the main change? Do you think you did anything else wrong on that, or was it just the wall breakers, do you think?
It was mostly the wall breakers, and missing the poison was huge.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't call it out because I was like, we'll just see if he remembers. Let's do another attack. Are you gonna do the same strategy? I mean, same troop comp, not changing anything.
I'll do everything exactly the same.
Okay.
Except not mess up the wall breakers and remember the poison.
Ready when you are. Live attack. Is there a reason you don't put the witches down immediately, or?
Because they get distracted by outside buildings easily.
Okay. Well, we had a wall breaker success. This is good. Funnel is there. Things are looking great. As long as everything goes in. You pre-placed the poison. That works too, guys. That works too. Wow, just with that extra jump into the core, it's just opened up everything. You can already tell it's going better. My guess is this is a 3-star. There is one tough section left by the king side. So we'll see if the witches, hopefully the witches will take the jump back over.
And queen should take it too. Or not.
They're stuck on a wall, unfortunately. Okay, they're going the long way around. So this is definitely, you could get bad luck here. Like if that mortar locks onto the witches, you're in trouble.
That's why I used
nice
queen
ability. Yeah, that was good.
It's still a fail again, but
no, it's the skeletons just have to tank, and it's not quite over. It just depends on that. The expo locked onto the witches.
Yeah.
And there's no ability. It's gonna be that pesky expo. And then the king. So, do you think as far as witches at Town Hall 9, what kind of, do you think it's a good strategy to use, or do you think compared to say a hog or using Lalo or something, what do you think's better?
I think it's very base dependent.
When you say that, do you think this base you just hit is a good witch base or no?
I think the back end of it is. The front end, not so much.
Would you think it'll matter if you entered on a different side of the base or no?
What I'm going to change, I'm going to switch to 3 golems, so there's more tanking through that very high DPS section. And for the queen and clan castle. And I think that'll make a big difference. Another thing that I think will make a big difference with 3 golems is when they get down into those expos and the compartment sections, they're going to be tanking there still because there's going to be the third one's still going to be alive.
Now, obviously, you would not know that on a fresh hit. Is there any way that you could have seen that before going in? Like, or do you think just some Town Hall 9s, you just have to try a strategy, and if it fails, then have someone else clean it up, or?
I think for the most part, if you see a plan like this that got 94%, tweaking it is a great way. Just take that plan and make small adjustments. That's a great way to assure your 3-star.
Yeah, I think I agree. 94% is a high percentage. It's usually just a couple things that might have gone wrong or different strategies. So let's when you're ready to do you have your golem all set?
Yep.
Okay, we're ready for round 3. Again, this is good stuff. Having the process on this is important. Helps players understand bases. Good wizardry action.
That's going to be a wall breaker fail.
You could tell he had a test wall breaker. That was huge. But is the wizard going to get it? Dang it.
The golem might. Well, backup earthquake. Usually my earthquake is for high hit point buildings in the core. But they're helped me get through the wall breaker fail, so.
Yeah, that was good. Good thinking. You actually have that golem up to the north, giving some tank.
It's taking care of the king.
Yeah. Now on this attack, your bowlers lasted this time. On the other one,
I think it's because of the 3 golems.
Yeah. Well, this bait, it's already like king and queen are still alive. You got bowlers. The only danger is you have that northern section, and unfortunately,
well,
the witches are
bowlers just took out the wizard tower. So
yeah, I think this is over. With the queen ability, she'll get the expo. Wow, good attack. Good attack. See, just minor troop change, and it makes all the difference in the world. So what do you think separates, say, like a good attacker as a 1009 and maybe a worse attacker? Do you think it met like someone who can spot that, like, oh, I need to bring an extra golem? Like, how did you think of that? Why did you think an extra golem would make the difference? And say not maybe for witches.
I noticed that my golems were dying before my king took the second jump. So I figured that they just needed more tanking for the bowlers and the king to survive longer, because they're the ones that do a lot of the damage in the core.
Nice. So on a typical, say you're hitting a base for the second time. I've talked about a lot of people. Some people don't even watch replays, unfortunately. Like, how many times would you watch a replay on, say, when your clanmates hit it and they failed? Would you watch it like a couple times, or do you even care about the replay? Like, talk a little about that.
If I'm hitting a base the second time it's been hit, I'm watching for Teslas in Clan Castle, but if it's the second time it's been hit and it was a 90-some% like that one was, I'm watching the way their troops path through, the way that I can lay mine different so they're going to path better, or the way that I can make more tanking or more damage happen with slightly different troops or slightly different spells.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's go on to the second base here and let's scout it out. Now, what is going through your mind here? Like, I guess first, I mean, obviously we're practicing with the witches strategy. First, do you think this is a bowlers and witch base, or would you, or no, and why?
I would say no, because at first glance, because you can't get splash damage and queen down early together. It doesn't look possible to do that at all.
So when you're using witches and you want to, so you're looking to get down the queen and splash damage early. Is that like a big indicator?
For me, that's the first thing I see.
What about like base design? Do you think what comes in your mind as far as using the strategy? What is pros and cons, I guess?
Well, if you see those bases, the Town Hall 9 bases that are kind of wide open and really big compartments, your bowlers and witches are absolutely going to tear it apart. And the same with these small compartments. It's the ones with the funneled lanes are the ones that I think are very difficult. And this one has the funneled lanes, so I don't think this one's going to work very well. I'm going to try it. I don't think I need wall breakers here. I think I can double jump and get into that back lane, like from 7 o'clock, double jump across the base and get into the lanes by the queen and king. And I think that gets splash damage down too, and you're just doing the point defenses back there. I don't know that it would work, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that's important. I think a lot of people just get stuck in like one troop, like, oh, I can, they only can use Valkyries, and so they just stick with Valkyries. Like, just because the meta is maybe changing to witches, or witches are powerful or a lot low, it doesn't mean you always have to use, air or witches. Like, it's really base dependent. I try to get that ingrained in the people who watch YouTube, because I think new players, they struggle with that and figuring out which army comp to use. What has helped you like figure that out? Just, I guess, I assume practice. I mean, attacking and failing, and it is kind of that way, or
yeah, for the most part, it's been a lot of, especially with Town Hall 9. It's a lot of trial and error, because there's some room for error on mines. Don't get me wrong, but there's it's more precise, I think, than, well, certainly my other accounts at Town Hall 11. Town Hall 9 is way more precise than that. And that's been the big thing for me practicing with the 9, is practicing the precision, and the timing's a little more important because the spells don't last as long, and the troops don't hit as hard. So it's been a lot of trial and error for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, those are good thoughts. Let's do an attack if you're ready.
Yep.
And here we go. Nice, taking out the mortar splash damage already. And why don't you have any witches go around the perimeter? I know in Town Hall 10s you want witches around the perimeter, but why aren't you sending any?
I think my big reason for it is I don't use very many witches. So I think they're more valuable in the core than they are on the perimeter, just because of the fact that I only use 6.
Well, it looks like I think this base is destroyed. No, you didn't think it was going to be a good witch base, but
what gave me hope
demolished
was the fact that I could just double jump right to those big wide open lanes, and it turns out it worked really well.
Yeah. And like you didn't have to worry about any mortars on your witches. You pretty much got and your golems were able to tank for the wizard towers as well before they died. So nicely done. Wow, see, a pro right there. 3-star fresh hit. That's a nice attack using a new strategy at Town Hall 9. Well, I think it's new. I mean, I know witches have been around for a long time, but rarely see them in war. I haven't seen them in a long time. Do you think witches are going to be used a lot more, or do you think people are still going to stick with hogs and loons?
I would like to see witches and, well, any troops really getting used a lot more, because I think it's better for the game if there are more troop compositions being used. And I think witches with the new buff are something that's definitely worth a try, and they seem to be doing pretty good for me.
Sweet. Well, there you have it, my friends, using the witches strategy. And oh boy, I thought that was a good video today. We learned a lot, that even just a minor, troop change from one extra golem makes a huge difference in an attack. So I really appreciate having Dave come on the show there, Omega Dave, showing us how it's done with the witches. And let me know if you think it's a powerful strategy. I think it's going to be viable. And you already heard him, base dependent. He didn't think that the last base was going to be an easy 3-star, but it turned out to be easier than the first base he hit. So very cool stuff. So get out there, clash it up, witch it up, and we'll see you next time, my friends. Halo out.